Hello, everyone. VE Squadcast, episode 2. We're back. A lot of stuff happened this week. This is post Superstar Shakeup. This is post a bunch of stuff happening. We're a week away from the NFL draft. I have a wedding that I'm going to on Saturday. I was gonna try out the recording. This is very late at night. I'm a school teacher. I need to get up in the morning, so trying on tuxedos is not something I want to do right now. So let's first talk about how Paige is the greatest general manager in the history of the world.
For sure.
She
ready.
Managed to trade like all of the people that they were doing nothing with, right? Raw's biggest additions, we're going to talk about it later, but Raw's biggest additions were people that they signed, in kayfabe signed. Bobby Lashley and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And Drew McIntyre. So me that Paige was like Baron Corbin, Samoa Joe, straight up. Yeah, sounds good to me, Paige.
Pretty much.
I like Baron Corbin.
Mike Kanellis for the bar? How's that sound?
No, it is the Ascension for the bar.
Oh, God. Mike Kanellis for Jeff Hardy? How's that sound, bud?
You guys are wondering, I don't have
even.
I don't have a webcam. This is running off mobile hotspot, so bear with me. Charlie and Garrett might have to carry it for a little bit. But let's start with Stop the Presses, as we do each and every week. First, we'll start out with last week. We talked Rusev was replaced by Casket match against The Undertaker. And then now Rusev is back in the match against The Undertaker, which is weird because neither Rusev or Jericho was going to win this match. Rusev will probably seconds. Garrett, do you think it's for the best that Rusev's back in or what?
Garrett might be frozen here.
It fixed itself. So I assume you were asking me about well, actually, just say it again. Rusev, yeah. So Rusev being back in this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Rusev being back in this, I think, is a good thing. For Rusev, I mean, I don't understand why. I don't know if there was really backstage goings on, and that's why he was out at first, and maybe it was the Undertaker himself that said no. I mean, it may have offended me, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to work the guy. I just don't know. And I got cut off again.
No, yeah, you're good. And so Charlie, kind of what I was going to throw to him originally, like, do you think this is actually a good thing for Rusev? So Garrett thinks it's a good thing for Rusev. I mean, you're in a match against The Undertaker, which is awesome. And it's kind of hyped up. But I think there's no way Undertaker wrestles any longer than a 5-minute match. So I think Rusev just gets buried, quite literally, in this match.
Exactly. So you're trying to weigh this out on 2 different levels here. And
right.
You part of it, you're facing the legendary Undertaker, and you could be one of his theoretically last handful of matches, which is a big deal in itself. But on the other hand, it's like, they're putting you against the biggest babyface pretty much of all time almost, because they want to drown out your chance, and that's why they drown out your chance when they edit the videos, and there's little things like this. But there's a lot of that goes into it. It's almost a little conspiracy in itself, which we kind of talked about a little bit last week. But
it's just so weird, though, because during Rusev's actual match on Mania, the fans were silent.
Yeah.
They popped for him huge during his entrance and huge at the end of the match. Like, when it looked like he was going to be in position to win. But the entire middle, it was so dead. I don't know. Like, I think right now, but Rusev himself, I think, has been trying to get over, and the fans are trying to get him over, but how long till they give up?
Yeah, who knows? Hopefully they don't, because, I mean, I think a big thing for them was after Mania, how they said his name before. They said his name before AJ Styles. It's pretty crazy that they did that. So, and even when they were having their matches, they're chanting Rusev Day, AJ Styles, and it's pretty, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, that's the question. Is there a theoretical situation where the Undertaker is booed for pinning Rusev?
He could.
No.
I mean, who knows? I don't think he will, but So I don't.
Every time I start talking, okay.
We also didn't think Nikki Bella and John Cena were going to break up after their whole WrestleMania moment last year, but it happened.
Yeah.
John Cena, they'd both been previously married before. They split up. I don't have our business to. We don't know the specifics about the relationship. I mean, hopefully it was a mutual thing. Hopefully no one's too hurt by it, but details haven't come out on like how the split happened. Come out over the next couple of years or something. But is still the face of the company, and Nick. It's not like him and Nikki had kids together. So what do you think, Charlie?
What we do know is they had a wedding plan in 2 weeks from today that you see this. So, the original rumors were cold feet from John Cena, and then it became that that just kind of became what it's about, and that's kind of what they're going with right now. Is just that he got cold feet, and they kind of just both called it off together. So, who knows? Who like you said, couple years we'll probably find out. We'll probably find out on Total Divas too.
Great. There.
What do you think about Bella breaking up, Garrett?
I mean, me personally, it doesn't affect me that much. I mean, I didn't watch the Bella shows at all, or the Divas, Total Divas, or anything. So I didn't really get invested in their relationship like some people did. I've seen a lot of people, and I'm not trying to speculate. I've seen a lot of people speculating about it being a work. And I just want to say, whether it is or it isn't, to not know and speculate that it is kind of rude to both of them, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, whether and let's say it does turn out to be a work, right? That doesn't mean those people are vindicated because they went after it right within hours. People were saying this is a work, you know what I mean? And it kind of annoyed me. And I just want to say, as wrestling fans, we need to decide if we're tabloid media or if we're actual broadcast journalists, you know?
Even play that into it. She goes back to Ziggler or something, and Ziggler and Cena would be weird.
But anyway, like I said, either tabloids or not.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate thing. So in somber news, Bruno Sammartino, known as, of all time, favorite WWF and other territories for a while, held the title for like 9 years or something. He passed too. I remember I was just listening to his podcast. Was it Jericho or Stone Cold? I was listening to him over the summer, talking about different stuff, and I don't know.
Pretty crazy.
Always kind of sad, but it's cool that he made it to AEW. I mean, he was a man's man.
Yeah.
In every sense of the phrase, yeah.
What do you think, Garrett?
Yeah,
Martino passing at least. And
I mean,
he
the guy
made it into the WWE or into the Hall of Fame. I mean, because he had a falling out with Vince that he made it in there, right?
Yeah, it sucks that he died. Hearts with the families and stuff. And it's like, every time a legend dies, you feel like something in the business kind of is lost, because what people don't realize is with those people goes years and years, and even when they're into their 80s, it sounds absurd, but years of knowledge that they pass down from generation to generation of wrestlers,
Absolutely. Good point.
And we lose a little bit of that every time. When we got the scare with Ric Flair last year, that really hit me, because that was a wrestler I watched at the end of his career when I was young, that I really connected with, even though he'd already had his legendary career. And it's just like, I don't even want to think about that with him, but we had to last year, and then Bruno now, it's just, you just want to hold on to what we have as a community and as a family of wrestling fans while we have it,
Agreed. And then on a lighter note, the fan that smeared
he was certainly
poop on
afterward.
The Performance Center walls in Orlando. There was a restraining order filed against him from the WWE.
Did we have the actual story on this, or is it just the report?
Oh no, it's legit.
No, I mean, I'm saying, like, is it just, like, was there a reasoning behind this that he thought, that the fan, I should say, thought that would get them into NXT or something?
Yeah, he apparently was going to the performance like on a weekly basis, sometimes more, for like a year, all the time, begging for a tryout and stuff. And you can look at other videos of him like outside the performance center, like cutting promos, like that was going to impress people side of the locked glass doors. And then I don't know, I guess he went over the edge and smeared some poop.
Hey, man.
That'll get you hired.
Exactly. Got to do what you got to do, right?
I mean,
so Charlie's buying it. Charlie doesn't see
Captain
why
Toilet.
the guy isn't employed right now.
Captain Toilet coming to NXT 2018.
I'll tell you what, Nicholas probably doesn't even smear poop.
That's why Nicholas got hired.
God damn it.
That was the only. Do you?
Do you think there was any kind of
And he
money
said no, and they said champion.
involved with that? I always felt like there was watching that. I don't know.
With
Anyway,
Nicholas,
yeah, like I don't know, one way or the other. There was.
I don't think
money.
John Cone, a referee who's been there for a while, like a cool thing. They're like, oh, let's have a kid win it out of the crowd.
Oh, really? There's a story behind it. I didn't
So
know.
let's talk some fresh meat, boys.
Fresh meat.
We're
Yeah.
talking superstar shakeup. First, call-ups on Raw. We had who did they debut this week? I mean, No Way Jose was already there. AOP, Ember, they were already there. Drew McIntyre, there's a big one. And I think that's it for call-up.
For debuts,
Call-ups.
Yeah.
As far as coming over, yeah. And as far as coming over from SmackDown, here's the official Hall of Authors of Pain: No Way Jose, Jinder Mahal, Ruby Riott, Morgan, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Breezango, Natalya, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, Mojo Rawley, Bobby Roode, Mike Kanellis, The Ascension, Zack Ryder, and Chad Gable, not Shelton Benjamin. Overall thoughts, Charlie, when you see people they got, did you think it was good, bad?
Yeah, so
between?
something I noticed was they got a lot of mid-card and under talent. And we don't know what to think of that just yet, but besides, I'm kind of going through this list right now. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are the obvious ones that stick out a little bit, but I mean, McIntyre maybe, Bobby Roode, and Baron Corbin. I mean, outside of those guys on Monday, I don't know, man. And the week before, Bobby Lashley, he'll obviously do big things for them. So, but yeah, it was not. It was different, to say the least.
I mean, like here's
Agreed.
Here's my thoughts.
Garrett, we saw Raw take quite down. Go ahead.
No, well, you go ahead. I want to hear what you were
Did
going
we
to
lose
ask.
him?
No, I'm here.
Oh yeah, they took all SmackDown's heels. They took Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Baron Corbin, Mojo Rawley.
Yeah, I suppose they did.
They took them all.
Perhaps there will be another debut. Well, we've already got 2 more potential heels coming to SmackDown, so maybe that's why. Maybe they thought maybe that there'll be too many in one place. Plus, you have the Miz over there now. So, but I mean, yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of this from the perspective of which went both ways. You know how this would shake out. Yeah, I guess in the heel department they're going to be pretty lacking for a while. Maybe they think they have big enough personalities that they don't need to worry about it. Or, I mean, they just have a pretty big heel turn. Maybe they want more focus on him.
Drew?
I don't know. It could be a lot of things, though. Overall,
I'm saying
crazy,
Monday night. Yeah, I'm saying
Yeah.
Monday night when they first swung it over. That was my enough. It took all of SmackDown's heels, so we kind of saw that we had to have some heels going to SmackDown.
Very true. Good points.
All right, Over on SmackDown, we have Peyton Royce, Billy Kay, The Miz, Jeff Hardy, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Samoa Joe, Sanity, Big Cass, Asuka, The Club, The Bar, Andrade Almas, and The GOAT, R-Truth. So right off the rip, like I said, Paige swindled the hell out of Kurt Angle or something.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what she did, but good job, Paige. Just the additions of, I'm looking at The Miz, Asuka, and the iconic duo. Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
I mean, you talk about some feuds that could be really good.
Oh, and the fact that SmackDown retained Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles.
And Nakamura.
Oh, yeah. Make that next Mania's triple threat.
And theoretically the most over person in the company, Rusev. So what the hell?
Yeah, there's going to be some crazy stuff going on SmackDown.
I mean, I said right in the chat, there is no reason why SmackDown shouldn't have like the best year of wrestling, pure wrestling.
Yeah, in ring, 100%, 100%.
Out of any show. Like I said, so you look at SmackDown, all the ones that we added. So you've got and the fact is, AJ Styles and really they have a lot of people, at least in WWE. You take Daniel Bryan or AJ Styles, and what I thought was stupid was everyone online that I saw was bitching about it, saying that SmackDown was trash, that they hated WWE because SmackDown. I'm sorry, but Finn Balor sucks compared to Samoa Joe. Give me Samoa Joe over pretty much anybody. And you put AJ Styles against any of those, Samoa Joe, even Big Cass, why not? An AJ Styles Andrade Almas match, you need to fill up about 45 minutes at the end of SmackDown. Go ahead. Like,
oh, that's the money match right there, man.
Like, why not?
No pun intended, but their styles would clash pretty well.
They would. And then the mid card. I mean, we had Jeff Hardy going over with the title SmackDown. So Jeff Hardy won the title from Jinder Mahal, who came over on Raw. So Vince McMahon wanted to pull the swerve to piss everyone off and not let Rusev win the title. And then Jinder Mahal went over to Raw, lost it to Hardy in his Raw debut, which they dubbed Jinder Mahal the #1 draft pick of Raw. And then he lost, and then Jeff Hardy went to SmackDown. So kind of funny.
Okay. This is what I was talking with Charlie about earlier. What would have happened if Jinder would have retained? Would he have just gone back to SmackDown?
They probably would have had him like lose it at the pay-per-view or something.
Right, because you know what I mean? Because that would have made no sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just
I think that the mid-card titles should you could always do a cross-brand like mid-card title fight.
I'm just
or
saying,
the idea
that confusing, man.
Oh yeah. I had months ago where I was saying every pay-per-view you would always have a SmackDown superstar of the GM's choosing and Raw against SmackDown have one every pay-per-view, and whoever wins that then you get the main event. You could always start it off. So you go right now. Let's take two newer people. Give me Dolphs against Big Cass. Why not? Just throw them against each other or something. Throw those two against each other at the beginning of the show. Winner, their brand gets to headline the pay-per-view or something. Like, put some kind of stakes.
Something cool like that, yeah.
That would be cool. Like whoever wins the opening match gets to close the show. That'd be cool.
All right. So let's talk about some stuff that we liked this week, some stuff that we didn't. I have terrible internet connection, so I'm not going to be able to play the cross.
Oh yeah, very true. You don't want to
clip this week. So sorry to all the people. We're going to what was the worst thing we saw all week. Started off for this one. His SmackDown debut faced Sin Cara, and about a minute flat beat the show for like 3 minutes. Then Sin Cara isn't even like on TV ever. All this offense against Samoa Joe. So man has I can't be with people out left and right until he gets a title match on SmackDown.
Very true. I agree. You don't want Sin Cara doing anything crazy.
No, Sin Cara is not going to be on TV. No way.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Chink was not so good this week.
Very true.
Okay,
I'm gonna go to my worst moment, and I gotta say, man, you feel for the guy, man. Chad Gable is in a tag team with Shelton Benjamin, and then not even on the air, it gets split, and after Raw, Chad Gable gets announced, after Raw, Chad Gable gets announced via Twitter that he's changed brands without Benjamin.
Okay, that's
back. I'm gonna hit you with a mute real quick, so just unmute yourself when you figure that out. But yeah, I thought by far, man, that just was not the. I feel bad for Gable because you almost look at SmackDown's roster, and I feel like he'd do much better with them than he is with the big dogs. Because Raw is it's very top heavy.
Well, it seems like the move is, since SmackDown was so light on heels, I mean, they brought Samoa Joe and Big Cass over, and the Miz, but they need to get beat up, be the stepping stone. I mean, I think Vince McMahon or whoever who is in charge looked at the team and said, man, Shelton Benjamin would be a really good heel right now. We need to split him and Gable up, and Gable, in their eyes, is the less important of the two. They haven't done anything with him since he's been on the main roster, and he doesn't really show much as far as charisma, in my opinion. But I mean, he'll get better, but I don't know if he'll get the chance to get any better. It might have been like a sink or swim mentality, and maybe he just didn't pass with the flying colors that he should have.
Very true. While we have Garrett figuring out his mic, let's hit our best issue, or our best.
Go ahead,
and then we'll have Garrett go back to back. So. My best by far, man. We've all seen this period with Dolph Ziggler where it's he's kind of just there, right? He won the U.S. title and relinquishes it, and then is gone for 6 weeks and debuts last in the Royal Rumble and is out in 90 seconds, and then he's going for the title at Fastlane,
and then he bitches about how he doesn't get any opportunities and how he's a showstopper and blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's just been on and on and on, the same thing for so long. So he goes to Raw. I almost felt like they were swerving us. He starts cutting the same promo. Next thing you know, Titus Worldwide comes out. Oh, hey, we'll offer you. Boom. Drew McIntyre comes out of nowhere, beating the hell out of people. They kind of debut a new tag team. This Claymore to zigzag finisher was insane looking.
I love that.
And this immediately just everyone online, after I ran a poll, something that we try and do a little bit, and I ran a poll. What was everyone's most interesting thing? 97%, I believe it was, said Ziggler and McIntyre. And there was like 13 things listed.
Absolutely.
It's definitely something worth
it's different. I mean, Ziggler is interesting, and everyone, but almost everyone is hyped to see what McIntyre is going to do on the main roster, you know? Because I loved McIntyre. McIntyre's been my boy since he first got on. He was on TV as the chosen one.
The chosen
for
one,
Vince McMahon. I love character. I thought he was great. And so, I don't know, it's so good to see him back, and he's a different character now, and God, he could, because he's such a good heel. Vince McMahon would have saved the whole Kevin Owens like headbutting him and stuff. If they would have waited for Drew McIntyre to debut with Vince McMahon in the ring and McIntyre come out and split Vince McMahon open after coming back for revenge after being called the chosen one and then cut out of the company, my God, it would have been amazing.
Yeah, we're talking money with that.
Oh my God, yeah. So my first class moment, Jeff Hardy. We already talked about him a little bit, But him winning the title and going to SmackDown Live was great. As soon as the match with him and Mahal started, I said, Hardy's going to win this title and go to SmackDown. It's going to be great. And I love the AJ Styles as world champ, Jeff Hardy as the mid-card champ. It looks really good on SmackDown right now. The championships, and I think that we're going to have the Hardy and Wyatt duo, the Broken Wyatts. I think that's going to be our tag team because weren't they supposed to be I'm thinking wrong show. SmackDown. I like Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah.
It looks good.
And the way they showed that vignette for the club, it looked like they're hyping them up as this team that won many gold in Japan and stuff. So I thought that was a nice thing for them.
I think they're going to go with Nakamura. I think people are going to think they're going to go with Styles, but I think they're going to go with Nakamura. I don't know why.
That could be huge.
I think Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows being a mouthpiece for Nakamura and just jumps out to kick people's heads off and then leaves. I think it'd be great.
True. Garrett, you want to give it a try? Just hit the see if it
want to see what up.
Hear us? Yeah, right. So Garrett's having really bad mic feedback because he's not using his normal thing. He can't isn't able to get it right now.
Oh yeah.
So if he comes back, he comes back. But let's move on.
All right. Yeah. Let's well, this is going back early. We're going Falls Count Anywhere this week. You want to talk some football?
Perfect.
What's on your mind?
Yeah, perfect. I'll take it away here. So Dez Bryant, this is something we've kind of seen from the end of the NFL season. We heard little rumblings that, hey man, Cowboys are going to go receiver. They're getting rid of Dez. Lo and behold, boom, Dez is gone. He's already talking. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna play him twice a year. This is cool for both me and Brady because we're Patriots and Packers fans. He's Patriots, I'm Packers, and they're both kind of in the receiver market almost. You never know with them. Patriots having 2 first-round picks now. I keep forgetting that. That's insane, by the way. And this is huge, man. You go back a couple years ago, Dez was the guy. Not even that long ago, right? 2015.
Him and Calvin Johnson were the only 2 wide receivers where I had 100% just if you threw a fade to them in the corner of the end zone, they were going to get it.
It's pretty wild when you think about that. And imagine if Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers are throwing to that guy next year. Imagine if he signs a 1-year deal with the Rams, with the Eagles.
Now, something, if you don't mind me jumping in, something that I think is odd, though. So he came out right away and said that he wanted to play against the Cowboys twice a year, right? But then instantly the Redskins said they weren't interested. The Eagles aren't in the wide receiver market anyway. And the Giants haven't said that they want to do anything. So the 3 teams that know Dez Bryant the best and plan for him, none of them want him. None of them think that he's talented enough to even offer him a contract.
That is true.
I think that's telling.
It might be.
So,
yeah. Hey man, we do not.
He was a physical wide receiver and he had explosive speed. Well, he's getting older. He doesn't have explosive speed anymore, and he's not as physical as he used to be. So he was never known as a smart route runner or anything like that. So it's just tough. Larry Fitzgerald, he was about getting open. Larry Fitzgerald knows how to get open. Dez Bryant used his physical dominance to win jump battles for balls, and now he doesn't have it anymore. I think it's a little, it's not going to be good for him. I think he's got to go somewhere where he can be a good number 2 wide receiver, and I don't know. He's got to go somewhere that has a nice slot receiver, like you're saying, Packers. Then all of a sudden you don't have to worry about making Devontae Adams or Randall Cobb do too much. Devontae Adams can be your 1, and Dez Bryant can be your 2, and Randall Cobb is your 3, and everything's golden.
Everything's looking pretty.
Exactly. Do we have Garrett back or no?
Yeah, I'm messaging Garrett. He cannot find a fix for the static. He's using his Xbox mic right now, not his normal setup.
Oh, okay.
It's he's dropped from the call now. So
So I'm gonna hop over to yay or nay. If Garrett's able to figure it out, then he's gonna be right now. Okay, you know we'll play yay or nay this week, Charlie. So this is something that we haven't done, a new segment for you guys. Pretty much, I come up with a hypothetical booking of over the next week or two of wrestling, of what I think they should do in the following week or maybe months or leading up to a pay-per-view, whatever. And normally Charlie and Garrett, one of them would have offense, one of them would say yes, the other would say no, and you have to defend your point, and I'll decide who the winner is. But I will defend my own point this week. So I say next week we saw a little confrontation in the back.
Okay.
Between Big Cass and Daniel Bryan.
Okay, so you guys can probably hear me, right?
Yep. I can hear you.
Okay, well, I can't hear you, so let me try one more thing. And if this doesn't work, there's no point in me. I mean, I could give you guys my answers, but I can't hear you right now because I just can't Yeti.
What a shame.
Well, one more thing. I'll be back.
Okay. So, Charlie, I say next week, Big Cass and Daniel Bryan have a match, and Cass pins him clean, 1, 2, 3.
Well,
on a regular old SmackDown.
Wow.
I will let you attack it after. You know what? I'll give my opinion first. You know, it's just like, you know, you would attack me first. Whatever. So, I think there is no bigger heat. I think if you're the WWE with Daniel Bryan coming back, I think it would be a mistake to have Daniel Bryan get this giant unbeaten streak. If Daniel Bryan were to just keep winning and winning and winning and eventually get his match with AJ Styles like a lot of people want, and it's one-on-one and they go all the way to the end, and then Daniel Bryan were to lose to AJ Styles, I think AJ Styles instantly gets booed out of the building and his career takes a big dip. I think whoever beats Daniel Bryan the first time is going to have the most heat out of anyone in the company by far. And I say you have Cass pin Daniel Bryan clean in the ring next week on a regular SmackDown. Because imagine the uproar and the legitimate heat would be the person that they would pin on. Think about the heat Roman has, the guy, but people don't want him to be the guy. Imagine if Big Cass was coined as the guy on SmackDown and they had it 1, 2, 3, when a lot of people in the internet wrestling community think Big Cass sucks.
Yeah.
I think he would have an astronomical amount of heat, and that would be a great way for him to come. Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, so here's my thing with this. I like the idea of them going to a program. However, I don't think you have them even have a match on SmackDown next week. This is where you get Daniel Bryan on the Backlash card, not going for a title, right? Now this is Backlash is 2 weeks away. Well, I do agree with you in the sense that Daniel Bryan can't go on a win streak. He can't. It's not going to work. My counter to your argument is I say Big Cass pins him on Backlash. And if they do have a match on SmackDown, Daniel Bryan gets that win, but it's like there's some dirty aftermath. So I don't think he gets. I definitely see him going to a program, and I'm down for it. This Big Cass, I mean, this is kind of surprising, isn't it? So,
yeah, and I mean, most people are assuming it's just another stepping stone. Like Daniel Bryan will get through Big Cass pretty easy, and people assume that he's probably not going to lose until he gets a title match, which is probably a safe assumption. I would love to see the boos that Big Cass would get.
True. Garrett says he thinks it's cool that the thing is Bryan's helping the young people. It's kind of helping kind of shit. I mean, having a feud with Daniel Bryan, you never know, man. You never know. And that having a feud with these younger guys like Cass, who I don't know how old he is in terms of age, but he's young in terms of the company, which is kind of what we refer to. It's important.
Right. Big Cass will learn a lot from working with Daniel Bryan, and Big Cass, for a big guy, he is a fairly safe worker. You know, the moves that he does are not crazy bumps. I mean, he does a lot of big boots and punches and sidewalk slams. It's a good person for Daniel Bryan to start back up with. And Daniel Bryan, you can't really pick a better guy to work with. Maybe AJ Styles, but.
Agreed.
I think.
Oh, I think I just lost you for good, Brady. So I think Brady was
No, we're good. Yeah, I'm here.
All right, go ahead.
You know, if I click one thing, it screws up everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to read off like some of Garrett's stuff?
Do I want? So yeah. So Garrett is saying the only issue he can see is if they book like Cass is gonna win, then he just gets crushed. So basically, if they keep building it up like, oh, he's going to smash Daniel Bryan, but then Daniel Bryan beats him in 2 minutes, what's that going to do for Cass? You know, no one's going to have faith in him, right? Theoretically. Imagine if they have – some way to put it is imagine if they have Braun Strowman beat up all those jobbers that he was beating, and then he goes into a program with Rhino, and Rhino pins him in 2 minutes. It wouldn't have been good. I mean, Rhino and Daniel Bryan are two different people, but in the sense of it, it just wouldn't have been pretty. He faced Sami Zayn. Imagine if Zayn pinned him in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been pretty for Strowman. And look at it. Everyone should aspire to be what Strowman did. He got
old until they ruined him and made him a comedy character.
I don't know, man. Did you see how over he was on Raw? Just everyone just chanting his name.
Yeah. I personally don't like it, but I guess I can get it.
He's there. You know what I mean? Who knows if they go with it?
Well, absolutely. Yeah. All right, Charlie, 80 seconds on the clock.
80 seconds for... Oh, yeah, that's right. So am I just throwing up 80 seconds and you're doing it? Or am I throwing up 80 seconds? How are we doing this? A little miscommunication here. Sorry, folks. Yeah. Oh, God. So, yeah, this is our 80 seconds on the clock segment where we just kind of round out everything else that went down and try to do it in a total of 80 seconds. So, long story short.
All right.
There we go.
With me. What the hell is going on? I don't even know, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's like, guys,
right,
we're having connection tonight, if you can't tell, but we'll figure it. We'll be good next week.
We're going to skip Rickens for this week because Bright House sucks.
Yeah.
Go ahead, email. But make sure you guys say yay or nay. Do you think Daniel Bryan clean on a SmackDown is a good idea? Or either they got to go all out and pin him on a SmackDown or and go over in the whole feud. But
yeah, yay or nay, let us know.
I don't know. Whoever pins
you see Garrett doing the hand signals.
Going to be a hell of a heel. Anyway,
absolutely.
And Garrett says no.
All right, folks.
Absolutely. All right. Cool. So make sure you guys like and subscribe.
Yep, like and subscribe, guys. We'll be back next Friday with some. We'll get our crap together, as Johnny Gargano said this week on NXT. Take care.